Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, appreciate you letting me on in today. Whew, it was raining out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good in here. It's hot and muggy out there today. Now, did you say you saw our commercials on television before?
Yes,
Well, they can hear it. Yep, that's us. We're here. #1 in the country on television 7 days a week on 5 different channels, and yeah, that's us. And what we're going to do today, Jacob, is I'm going to start out by gathering some basic profile questions, and then what we'll do is we'll jump right on into Lincoln Heritage, and I'll tell you all the bells and whistles about our companies. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Now, so Jacob, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
All right, do you use the middle initial?
No.
And your last name is Youngs, Youngs.
Yep.
Are you looking for insurance on yourself, your wife, kids, family plan? Or?
My family.
Okay. And how many children do you have?
2.
And what are their ages?
10 and 5.
10 and 5. And your wife, where's she at today? I thought she was going to be here.
She's at the store right now.
Oh, she's at the store, huh? She's
Yeah.
not going to be here to take care of the insurance stuff. Are you the man that wear the pants in the family?
I think I do, yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Well, in order for us to give her insurance, she would have to be present at the time of interview.
Okay.
But we'll just continue on with what we started. And your address, it's 3215 Main Street.
Yep.
And he said that's Norfolk, Virginia. What's the zip code? What's it, 23513?
That's right.
All right. And Jacob, what's your age?
43.
43. And do you smoke?
Yes.
Smoker. That stuff's bad for you. And what's your date of birth?
June 2nd, 1945.
1945. All right. And do you have any life insurance coverage?
No, I don't.
Oh, man. All right. No life insurance coverage. How about your wife? Does she have life insurance
I
coverage?
think she does, yeah.
You think? Okay. All right. And in the past 2 years, what doctor-prescribed medications have you been prescribed? Or do you take any medications for anything at this time?
No, I don't.
No meds, okay. Excellent, excellent. Well, good deal. And what we're going to do, see a little bit about me, my background. I've had my license for the first time in March of 1998. I don't have my name tag on right now, but I'm actually the manager here locally. And been licensed in 4 different states: California, New York, Virginia, North Carolina. And you know, in my time, I've definitely seen a lot of different insurance companies, their bells and whistles, the way they operate, and what makes us different from others. And what I like to do is just talk about some of the bells and whistles with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. One of the things I do is I talk about stuff that the insurance companies don't put into their fine print. One of the big key factors is what they call a 2-year waiting period. Have you ever heard of a 2-year waiting period before?
No, I have not.
Okay. There are a number of insurance companies out there that offer life insurance coverage that have what they call a 2-year waiting period. And what that means is if, God forbid, something were to happen to you in the first 2 years, you do not have an insurance coverage. They give you what they call ROP, which stands for return of premiums. And a lot of times you get return of premiums back plus interest paid. I don't know about you, but if I'm applying and paying for insurance, I want to give me some insurance. It's really that simple. So our product does not have a 2-year waiting period on it. Another benefit of Lincoln Heritage is that we're not going to send a nurse out to your house to do a full-blown physical. You know, there's a number of companies. I don't know if you've ever applied for life insurance in the past, but what happens is some companies have the nurse come on out to your house and 3 weeks, schedule appointments, start poking holes in your arm, doing blow work, swab tests, urine sample physicals, height and weight check. Some do a credit check, others do a height and weight check, proof of identity, green card, passport, driver's license, and so on and so forth. We don't do any of that. All we do is sit down like we're here today, talk to you for about 15, 20 minutes or so, show you what you qualify for. If you see something you like, boom, we put it into effect on the spot. Pretty simple, right?
Oh, good deal.
We don't have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to find out if the insurance company is going to approve you for insurance or not. So now at the end of the day, there's hundreds of different insurance companies, but there's only two major kinds of life insurance coverages. Do you know what they are?
No, I don't.
Okay. You either get term life or you get a whole life coverage. Now, most of the time, the term life coverage, that's the stuff that you see on TV. You click on turn on the TV and you see, call now, get $250,000 worth of insurance for $8 a month. What that most likely is, my best guess, depending on your age, depending on your health, it's probably what they call a 1-year term. That means you get insurance for 12 months. And you get reevaluated at the end of the 12-month time frame. Term insurance, the premiums are going to change at the end of the term. What we offer here at Lincoln Heritage is the opposite end. We offer the whole life insurance, also known as portfolio retirement insurance. Do you have a banking account?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Who do you bank with?
Bank of America.
B of A, nice. And the reason why I asked that question is because our insurance policies accumulate cash value just like a banking account. We offer a rate of 3% cash, which means non-taxable interest. At the local banks in today's market, on average, you're probably going to be between 1.1 and 1.4% interest on a standard savings account. And then you got to pay taxes on the interest accrued at the end of the year. Ours, you don't have to pay taxes on. It's a flat 3% cash rate value. Premiums are fixed. They will never change. Regardless of health, if your health changes for the worse, you'll still have, if you live to be 250 years old, you're still going to have insurance with our company. Okay. All right, guys. That was what we call the client profile. Some of the benefits of the client profile are this. If you take a look at our application with Lincoln Heritage, page 1 of the application, if you've done your client profile correctly, what's going to happen is the only thing that you need to know on page 1 of your application is the client's social security number, who the beneficiary is, what the monthly premium is, and how much insurance they want. The whole page 1 of your application is now complete because you've completed a client profile correctly. Now, if this client was to take medication, what you would do is jot down a list of all the medications they have that the doctor's prescribed in the past 2 years and what the medications are used for. You're going to find out at the time of client profile what they qualify for, whether you're going with the final expense type of product or you're going with the modified death benefit. So I just wanted to share that with you. There's many different benefits. Not only that, but I know that the man has a checking or banking account of some sort with Bank of America. So there's definitely a number of different bells and whistles in here that is very imperative. And at that time, I had a chance to put them at ease and build the rapport and get to know them a little. So now what we're going to do is part 2, which is called presentation. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Notice how I refer to everyone as first names. We help families, we call people first name. We don't call them Mr. or Miss. My name is Charlie, it's not Mr. Doriguzzi, same thing with Jacob. It's not Mr. Young or Young's, it's Jacob. So let's go ahead and do the presentation. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Lincoln Heritage. This is the moment you've been waiting for, right?
Yep.
We're going to get to the good stuff now. Now you've seen our commercials on television with Lincoln Heritage. We've all heard of the Better Business Bureau. Better Business Bureau rates businesses. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And there's also this company called AM Best. Now AM Best, what they do is they rate insurance companies nationwide. And if you see it here, right here at the bottom of this oval right here, can you see that? What does that word say? A- excellent. You see the excellent right here in the
Yes, I do. I see that.
says excellent?
Yes, it does.
Yep, that's right. We're an excellent company. And one of the unique key factors, when I ask folks and families if they have life insurance coverage. One of the things that makes us different is our motto, which comes directly from the owner and founder of our company, Mr. Jack London. Our motto is "We pay claims." One of the downfalls of my business, being in this business for a long, long time, is you stumble upon a lot of folks, and probably shouldn't be discussing this on a video, but hey, this is life and this is the truth. And you come across folks that have bodies that are locked up in vaults, and the family has no money to take care of their families. Been locked up in the vault for 2, 3, sometimes 4 weeks. Families broken down in tears, and they don't have the money to take care of their family members or loved ones. One of the unique key factors about us is we pay claims within 24 business banking hours are required. Once you get all of your required documents, it says on this form, receipt of all required documents, which is basically a one signature signed claim page by the beneficiary stating that the death took place, and the death certificate. Now, with the FCGS, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes, the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society, a death certificate is not required to pay a claim. So when you go to, if you've ever processed a claim before, what happens is, if you had a death in the family, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the local funeral home. You're going to give them a call and say, hey, this is who I am, name, address, and telephone number. I'd like to schedule a time to sit down and talk. And when you go to the funeral home, what's going to happen is you're going to go there to interview the facility to make sure it's clean and presentable. You're going to interview the director to make sure you guys can get along. Then you're going to take a look at some prices and you're going to find out how much this thing's going to run you. How much money do we need to go ahead and bury such and such? And what's going to happen is on the phone, after you book the appointment, the funeral director is going to ask you 2 questions. And it doesn't matter if you go to North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, or anywhere in the country. It's going to be the same 2 questions no matter which funeral home you go to. Question number 1 is, do you have life insurance coverage? Question number 2 is, how much you got? And then they're going to make the comment, why don't you guys go ahead and gather up your insurance policy information and bring it on in with you at the time of the appointment. We're going to help you process the claim. And if there's any money left on over, we'll go ahead and put the check in the mail. You guys can come on over and pick up the check, whichever you prefer. Does that sound familiar? Here at Lincoln Heritage, we say absolutely not. Because if you're going to sell me your car, I'm not going to tell you how much money I have in my banking account. It's not a good part of negotiations, right? So what we do is we give the money to the family, not to the funeral home. And we tell the family, do not tell the funeral home how much money you got. It's none of their business. Now, Lincoln Heritage, again, we're #1 in the country, been around for 50 years. Our anniversary is January 28th, 1963, founded by Mr. Jack London. Jack London started out in this business many, many years ago by door knocking. This is a picture of our corporate building located in Phoenix, Arizona. We are a national company, nationwide, licensed to do business in every state but the state of Alaska, 49 out of 50 states. Liquid assets was $2.2 billion effective January 2013. And we got over 35,000 employees scattered across the country. Here's a picture of Mr. London, Mr. Jack London right here. I don't know if you can see it on the video. Jack, he is the original owner and founder. One of the things that's unique about Lincoln Heritage is we are not a Wall Street traded corporate mentality type of company. We are personal, one-on-one, face-to-face. If you got a question, we'll come to your house, we'll answer your question face-to-face. Or you can always call customer service, whichever you prefer. Mr. London wants everything to be personal. There's very few multi-billion-dollar corporations in this country that the original owner and founder takes the time out of his day and calls you from his personal cell phone to check in and see how you're doing. This man does that. That's huge. Now, we also play a major role in the community, and we are a part of a number of different foundations. If you flip to page 18 and 19, you'll see a number of different foundations that we are a part of. In this book we have the United Way Foundation, They're huge. We have a location right here, Military Highway, Norfolk, Virginia. They're affiliated with a plethora of other different foundations. One of which is the ARC Foundation off of West 58th Street, Hampton, Virginia, and a number of others. A Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, Cystic Fibrosis, Teen Outreach Program to help teens with drug and alcohol problems, and a bunch of others. I'm actually a spokesperson at a number of different senior living facilities here in Hampton Roads. A bunch of churches. I work with John Schroeder off of West 34th and Colonial Ave. I work at the senior living facility at Johnston Road and Chesapeake Boulevard and 7000 Auburn Drive, and a bunch of others. We're doing different types of events quite often, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month, depending on how busy the month is. And again, on the next page, you'll see that these are a couple of the different national television channels that we show on. If you ever watch Judge Judy and Judge Brown around between 11 and 12 o'clock, I can't remember what channel that is, but that's a channel that we air on quite often. Now, here at Lincoln Heritage, we talk about all the stuff that no one wants to talk about or think about. Burials and funerals and stuff like that. And what it's designed to do here at Lincoln Heritage is tell the family members and loved ones what you would have wanted on your day if something were to happen to you, God forbid. We've all seen the family get together and start fighting when there's a death in the family. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell the family, this is what I want. And this document starts out with Plan A. And what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top and go all the way down. We're going to read this to the client. Full legal name. You're going to put your full legal name, social, date of birth, birthplace, marital status, name of your spouse, date and place of marriage. Parental information. The parental information is used for your obituary. Whether they're living or deceased, it doesn't make a difference. It's going to give the family a starting point for your obituary. And then goes into occupational information. Closest and next of kin, name, address, and telephone number. Funeral service request. Here's an important block. Say if you'd like to be buried at a specific cemetery with friends, family members, or loved ones, you're going to go ahead and put the cemetery name, address, and telephone number in this block. Say if we're here in Norfolk, Virginia, and you'd like to be buried in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you're going to have to add transportational costs and fees into your insurance. If a basic standard burial service is $8,000, it might cost you an average of $2,000 to $2,500 to transport the body from here to Philly. Those are some of the things that we have to take into consideration when we're talking about the wants of the insured. Are you a member of a church? You can have the pastor at your church underneath prayer service. You can put the church's contact info, name, address, and telephone number, and the pastor's info if you're a member of a church and would like a specific pastor at the church to conduct services for you and your family. Funeral home service. This is important. The FCGS will negotiate the cost of the funeral service and give the family the lowest possible cost for what they're looking for. We will negotiate the cost of the funeral service with up to 3 funeral homes of the family's choice. If the family does not have a specific preference of funeral homes, we will, if they just gave us a location where they would like, a city and state of where they would like the services conducted, we will go ahead and make sure they get the cheapest price possible and not being taken advantage of in time of need. As you can see, traditional burial request arrangements. It could be, up north in the Northeast, in New Jersey, and New York. There's people up there that are double and triple stacked because they don't have space, and they have to go outside of their area. Now, cremation. If you decide to go with the cremation type of service, what you're going to want to do is figure out what to do with the ashes. Everyone gets a little something and goes to one person, or if you want your ashes scattered in the garden, the sea, the ocean, bay, Hawaii, Bahamas, whatever you want to do, the forest, go ahead and tell the family something, give them something to work with. So this way they don't have to figure it out amongst themselves. Plan B, Part 2, final expense, or final wishes. Up top, what you're going to do is you're going to tell the family, hey, I got insurance with Lincoln Heritage. This is how much insurance I took out today, and this is who I chose the beneficiary to be. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put all your important documents together Social Security card, birth certificate, insurance information. All this stuff should be kept in the fireproof safekeeping box, or just somewhere safe that, number one, the family knows where to find it, and number two, it's safe in case of an emergency. Military history, record, or background. We're looking for the times, what branch of the service did you serve, the date and time in service, and if there's any special recognitions, flags, medals, badges, ribbons, and so forth. Any special recognitions that you may have. Special instructions down below are different. Say if you have any different flower preferences or displays, sprays, bouquets, espals, easels, and so forth. If you have a specific flower or a display, go ahead and tell the family at that time. Next one down is music selection. We're looking for the song that best represents you. Kenny, Mr. Young, would you rather have a religious service, or what kind of music would you prefer? That's what you're gonna,
Country.
Country, okay. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the song that best represents you here in this block. Personal effects are what you'd like to be wearing on your day. Wedding band, eyeglasses, wardrobe, favorite hair done a certain way, nails done a certain way, favorite shoes, favorite hat, favorite whatever. You're gonna go ahead and notate that. Newspaper for the obituary on the bottom. We're looking for the city, the state, and the name of the newspaper that you like it listed in. Pet wishes. If you have any pets, what's their date of birth? What's their diet? What's their name? Who's going to get the pet if something were to happen to you? Now, next is your membership card. Now, what you're gonna want to do is give a copy to the beneficiary, and make sure you have a copy in your wallet. Nothing is etched in stone. You can make changes at any given time. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, this is what we call the grand finale. You're absolutely gonna love this. Here it is, My Final Wishes. You're gonna take this book and hand it to your customer. After you hand it to the customer, the client, you're going to pick up your rate book. Hand it to them, pick it on up. So, what's happening now? That book, Mr. Youngs, do you have a living will set up?
No, I don't.
Okay, that book is identical to a living will. In that book, you can talk about disbursement of assets, allocation of funds, final wishes, final sayings, how you like to be viewed. I've seen DVDs, music, all kinds of different stuff. There's a reason why I'm quiet right now. I'm pausing and I'm ignoring the client because he's flipping through the book. Those who speaks first is going to lose. What you want to do is wait till they start looking around and look at you about 4 or 5 times that you're working up the numbers, and eventually they're going to say something. As soon as they say something, you still don't make eye contact. What you're doing is you're working up pricing right now. And you're going to go ahead and do it in your notepad on your client profile, and then you're going to go ahead and this is for your own personal records. And then you're going to put it on page 1 of your application. Highest to lowest. Plan 1 is the highest, plan 3 is the lowest. Okay, what do you think about the book?
I like it.
Nice, nice. Alright, what I've done is I worked up 3 different programs for you. I put yours up top, your wife's down below, and I've calculated the rate for the family plan within your spouse. I've worked together a $20,000, a $15,000, and a $12,000 program for yourself. Same thing for your wife, a $20,000, $15,000, and $12,000. Down below are the monthly premiums. Which one you like the most?
Have to go with